Strip and all the action here. This is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today on to week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. They show run with three tight ends here on first down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think a free play now for Goff. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Here's a 2nd and 5 now after the offsides penalty. Goff now to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Raiders had 5-8, 3 games under 500. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
After the run, Goff going to throw. He'll let this go for Adams. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
2nd and 10.
Go!
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. You talk about this Miami defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And taken right on the 30. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Under pressure, they got him again. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They go ahead and snap it. Goff. Pass taken in by his big time. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sense.
Yeah.
Punt it away. Let your defense take over with better field position.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 5. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 9. Play action. Now it's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. They'll run for it with Achane. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Achane. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Couple of Alabama guys there. Tua to Waddle for the Miami first. Up the middle, Achane. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That one complete to Hill. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Achane. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 8. Now they go end around with Adams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they'll give this to Achane. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. They go play action here on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. That'll leave it with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Running right, here's Achane. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
3rd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Dolphins are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And the Dolphins have got it. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's going to be brought down right there at the 23-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The play action fake, they'll look to throw. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On play action, they'll throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Right back to him on first down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. They'll try the air now with Goff. That's caught by the 6'8 tight end Zach Gentry.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. They'll run out of the gun, and this is going to be a reverse here. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Here we go on 4th. Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in the... It's caught at the 10. Touchdown Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with now 2 4th-quarter touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. Goff going to throw it. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. On 1st down, gone. And it's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Zach Gentry with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill finishing strong with 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Throwing now, Goff. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. Down the sideline he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And did the Dolphins get it? Yes. Miami football. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
And now they're going to go for 2 and a possible win as this crowd rises to make things difficult.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. And now they're going to get the timeout. A huge play has them in field goal range with a chance to win. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And the fair catch taken. No time will come off the clock. And they will begin this critical drive at the 25-yard line. This is 1st and 10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DC.
Now Goff. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So it's the Dolphins who are going to get the football first here as we are back underway now in overtime. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We think back to halftime, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here's we begin overtime. They're one drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And, look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something to fact.
A chan hit, and the ball is held.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And that catch will put him right at the 250-yard mark. What a game receiving. Unreal. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tie. Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
3rd down and 6.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
He'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down.
Back to the ground, HN.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Right back to HN on second down.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense,
and this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Hey, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Raiders,
their chances of finishing over 500, they remain alive as they move to 6-8 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I